Every parent dreams of a fresh start, a quiet street, a safe home, and enough peace for their child to simply be a child. For me, that wasn't a luxury, it was a necessity. After years of navigating courtrooms and late-night motions as a prosecutor, all I wanted was a stable haven for my 7-year-old daughter, Sophie. She's nonverbal, born with a rare form of autism that makes communication a challenge. But her eyes, they weave stories, vivid and deep if you take the time to look. Most don't. They see her silence and assume something's off, even threatening. So when we settled into this charming neighborhood, neat lawns, friendly waves, and roses drowning in water, I thought, maybe this was it. A place to build something beyond mere survival. I was wrong. Terribly wrong. It began on a Tuesday morning, the kind that tricks you into feeling safe. The sun was gentle, and I just unpacked the last kitchen box. Sophie sat in the front yard on a blanket, arranging her stuffed animals in precise row, her calming ritual. She doesn't speak, but she hums, a soft melody like a forgotten lullaby. I glanced out the window, smiling over my coffee, when I saw her, a woman, mid-50s, stiff bob haircut, pastel cardigan pressed to perfection, standing on the sidewalk, arms crossed, staring at Sophie like a predator sizing up its next meal. I stepped outside, casual but wary. "Morning," I said. She ignored me, tilting her head, eyes narrowing at Sophie. "Is she supposed to be out here alone?" she asked, her tone dripping with suspicion. Her words stung. I swallowed my first instinct and replied evenly, "She's not alone. I'm her father." The woman sniffed, pulled out her phone, and walked off. I didn't realize it then, but that was the first shot fired. 15 minutes later, 2 squad cars rolled up, lights off but impossible to miss. I stepped out just as an officer knelt beside Sophie, asking questions she couldn't answer. She clutched her teddy bear, terrified. My heart ignited. "What the hell is going on?" I demanded. The younger officer, buzzcut in, clipboard in hand, tried to play it cool. "We got a welfare call, child abandoned, possibly special needs." "Just checking. She's in her own yard," I snapped. "Not abandoned. Nonverbal, not invisible." I handed them my ID, Assistant District Attorney. They froze. "Sir, we didn't know," one mumbled. "Do better," I said, scooping Sophie up and heading inside. She clung to me, silent tears soaking my shirt. This wasn't a mix-up, it was a warning. The next day, a letter appeared on my door, HOA letterhead, no signature. It cited a public disturbance involving a minor with erratic behavior and threatened further action. I stared at it, not confused but calculating. They didn't know I'd been investigating this HOA for months. Harassment, power abuse, targeting families with disabled kids. I'd taken the case anonymously, and moving here to witness it firsthand. I hadn't expected Sophie to become my first fight. The air shifted after that. Neighbors' glances turned sharp, lingering. SUVs cruised by our house, slow and watchful. Sophie didn't notice, but I did. Then at the grocery store, a man muttered, "That's the one with the girl." I turned. "Excuse me." He kept walking. "Maybe keep her inside until she learns manners," he tossed back. I smiled thinly. "I'll pass that along." My phone buzzed, an HO email announcing an emergency safety meeting about minors with atypical behavior. It screamed Sophie. I didn't RSVP. At 6:55, I walked into the HOA president's house, Union VY Ted. The room buzzed with folding chairs, lemonade, and judgment. The president, Margaret, frosted hair and a clipboard, blinked at me. "Oh, we weren't sure you'd come." "Got the invite," I said, taking a front row seat. Whispers erupted. Margaret started, "We've had reports of a disoriented, unattended child. Residents are concerned." "Which residents?" I asked. She faltered. "Names. Or are you making accusations without evidence?" The room hushed. "We're ensuring safety," she said tightly. "Some of us have kids too." "So do I shot back. "That's my daughter, Sophie. 7. Autistic. Nonverbal. She's done nothing wrong." Silence. Then a cough. "Surely you understand. Sitting quietly in her yard?" I cut in. "Lining up toys?" Humming. I hit record on my phone. "Say it, Margaret. She's not dangerous. She's different." Her lips pursed. "You can't record this." "Wrong," I said. "Public meeting, neighborhood policy. I'm a prosecutor reviewing your HOA." I can and I will. Gasps. I stood. Speak now if you've got a real concern. Otherwise, think hard about policing a disabled child's existence. No one did. I left. A new letter awaited me. Keep your freak inside. We're watching. I didn't call the cops, I called the press. Local news aided up hidden discrimination in suburbia. I sent the letter, HA email, and recording to a journalist friend. Within 48 hours, the story broke. Nonverbal child targeted by HOA. My phone blew up advocacy groups, a senator's office, a family saying their autistic son faced the same. The pattern emerged. Then, CPS showed euphonymous neglect report. I handed over every document. Doctor's notes, therapy logs. She's never unattended, I said. The caseworker nodded. We've seen this before, HOA's strong-arming families. This file's closing. She paused. They won't stop easily. They should, I said. They're about to learn what happens when they cross the wrong parent. I built a case not just mine, but everyone's. I posted anonymously on the community Facebook group, asking about HOA intimidation over disabilities or BHA-VY or. Stories poured in. A Down syndrome child's ramp called an aesthetic violation, a teen with Tourette's told to quiet his tics, a vet fined for blackout curtains. Systemic. File. Illegal. I compiled it into a report for the city's Human Rights Commission and requested an ADA investigation. The city approved it fast. Then came fake citations noise, child mobility status, Sophie's chalk drawings. I traced the signatures forged. The final blow, an envelope with a flyer, unstable child may pose risk, Sophie's blurry photo beneath. I called the state attorney general. They've targeted disabled kids, fake documents endangered my daughter. I want prosecution authority. Granted, they said. Make it count. I went surgical. HOA records showed 70 fan-tram of citations hit homes with disabilities, mixed-race families, or single parents. I gathered FI to VYTS, VYDEO's forged signatures, one from a dead board member. A former secretary gave me emails including Margaret's. Call a welfare check. This could be leverage. They knew who I was and still targeted Sophie. Then my camera caught Margaret and a board member tampering with my electrical box at 1 a.m. I flipped the floodlights, triggered the alarm. They ran, but I had their faces. I sent it to the news. HOA president caught trespassing, hit like a bomb. Margaret spun lies at an emergency meeting, doctored footage, me destabilizing the community. She lawyered up, accusing me of defamation. I responded with 6 pages, 9 statutes, 300 exhibits, CC'd to the city, state, and DOJ. The city audited the HOA misallocated funds, fake committees, Ellie's name flagged repeatedly. I filed CIVYL charges, got injunctions, and pushed to dissolve the HOA. At a packed city hearing, families spoke, veterans, parents, kids like Sophie. Protect our children, they chanted. It wasn't just my fight anymore. In court we crushed them. Body cam footage, emails, witnesses. Margaret's VYC president turned, admitting it was about power, not safety. The jury took 2 hours, guilty. Due law $325,000 in damages, Margaret barred from HOA roles for a decade, the board dismantled. The judge called it systemic cruelty. Neighbors shifted, doors opened, hands waved. Margaret sold her house, but not before Sophie lives here too appeared in red on her garage. I started the Sophie Project at the DA's office, tackling HOA abuse statewide. Sophie still hums, tracing dirt circles, her silence a defiant truth. We didn't just win, we changed everything. What would you do if it were your kid? Have you faced quiet injustice masked as standards? Let's talk.